In the absolute universe, every hero's had to give up something. Batman lost his wealth, Superman lost the Kents, and Diana has lost her mother. And now, what more will she have to give up to save one of her sisters and break one of the oldest curses in the DC universe? Today, we are breaking down the 32-page Absolute Wonder Woman annual event and Diana's obsession with defying the gods. You think you know the story of Medusa? You don't. Let's dive on in. This annual event opens up in Gateway City, where Diana is helping to rescue some kids from a fire and even taking time to let one of them wear her helmet. And she bounces back and forth between saving people, fighting people, and praying to the goddess Athena on Medusa's behalf. If you remember back in Absolute Wonder Woman 5, Diana took on the form of Medusa to defeat the Tetracide, and in doing so, she was able to see through her eyes and understand her suffering. So she begs for an audience. Now, quick mythology lesson here. Most of the tellings of Medusa follow the Medusa was a priestess of Athena, kind of hooked up with Poseidon in Athena's temple, and Athena kind of got pissed and turned her into what she is now. So, again, there's multiple tellings of it, but that seems to be the most popular one. And as you look at this collage of images, you can see that Diana doesn't give up when it's something from her heart, and she repeatedly tries to contacting Athena. However, a lightning bolt crashes down and nearly striking her might be a sign to back off for at least a few days. But knowing Diana, here we go. And it's funny, I just called it mythology, but for Diana, it is history. Not only that, it's history she's been a part of. But just like playing the telephone game with humans, once the story's been retold so many times, different versions get out there. For Diana, these seems to be misunderstanding. But having seen through Medusa's eyes and felt her pain, she must know the truth. Why did this happen? And during that whole exchange, Diana has just been climbing, although she didn't even realize herself where to. The doorstep to speak with Athena. As we see her floating above Diana, not too pleased with her, or she kind of knows why she's come. We then flash back to when Diana was a child, playing chess with Athena. And I think it's an interesting choice by the artist here to depict Athena as this giant helmet.
Bet she gives great helmet.
It gives kind of a great sense of scale on just how much bigger the gods must seem to Diana, even if that's not their actual size. And they both love chess. However, Athena loves it for the skill it takes and how it forces you to see and pay attention to everything that could be a threat, to scan the whole board. While good, sweet Diana loves it because here you don't have to beat your opponent, you can force a draw. She always has the gods scratching their heads in disbelief. This caring she has for everybody and everything, it makes her vulnerable. And if there's one thing the gods hate, it's the idea of being vulnerable. And as Diana lays at Athena's feet, well, kind of floating above her there, she remembers that in all of their chess matches, she never won once. I'm sure it won't be the case in this situation. But Athena isn't pleased with Diana, for she has already done so much for her, it seems foolish to ask anymore. But Diana is asking. However, this only angers Athena further, as she now believes that Diana believes the stories of man, that it was Athena who cursed Medusa. And it puts Athena in a tough spot. If Athena corrects the injustice, people then will think she did it to fix what she did to Medusa all that long ago. But if she doesn't, then they still blame her for the curse. The solution, though, is Diana. She will fight to undo the curse, and no one will know Athena was a part of it. But Diana's going to need a favor, for which she gives up her godly powers. On the plus side, she does get to keep her magic. As it is powerful, it is a skill. It's not an innate ability. Although in hindsight, though, she probably should have kept flight. But to be fair, you're already pissing off a goddess. Maybe don't push it. There are two paths that sit before Diana to Medusa and her sisters. One is easy, but there's danger everywhere. The other is free of dangers, well, except for the pathway. It's pretty fucking dangerous. And she has a good point. Why is everything at the top of a mountain? And I do like, though, she gives Bruce a little nod to how he does such physical feats all without powers. She reaches the entrance of the lair, but in here, it's not just Medusa and her stone gaze she must contend with. It is her sisters, Stheno and Euryale, equally as deadly, and have stayed by their sister all this time, regardless of the danger. Any three of them would be a tough fight, even with her powers. But now she only has her magic to protect her. And the sisters continue to kind of bat Diana around like a toy. But Diana will not fight back. She will pay with as much blood as she needs to. And right now, it looks like a lot. She knows the sisters are just setting the stage for, of course, it's Medusa, towering over Diana. And it seems they have chosen to go with kind of the more contemporary look for the Gorgon, kind of with the serpent body and no wings. But that's the bigger problem. The serpent body is wrapped around Diana, crushing the life out of her. It seems Diana, though, has seen the real horror in this curse. Never being able to look someone in the eyes and never being seen. So much, though, that Medusa has forgotten all kindness. But then we get a look at what she traded Athena for. The ability to look Medusa in the eyes. Diana explains to Medusa that she comes in friendship, not to trick, but to help. And she will let Medusa use the lasso of sacrifice, the same lasso she used to turn her into Medusa to beat the Tetracide. That's how she knows the pain Medusa is in. She saw through her eyes in that moment. The lasso has the power to change Medusa, but it might make things worse. But Diana points out at least she will get to choose for herself. And she agrees and takes hold of the lasso. And just like that, Medusa is back to her whole old form. However, still able to turn people to stone, but it would be of her choosing. And I don't think she will be doing that to Diana today. Her sisters are just as happy to see their sister back in her old form, but they still refer to Diana as dumb human. Ungrateful bitches. Next, we see Diana's powers have returned, and even Athena seems proud of Diana. And while she may have never beaten her at chess in the past, Athena believes Diana would win now if they played. And it's about damn time she got some words of encouragement. All right, guys, so that kind of wraps up the annual Absolute Wonder Woman. And, not a whole lot kind of happened as far as, yes, she goes and she kind of lifts the curse Medusa. I'm not sure where this is going to play into as far as the actually Absolute Wonder Woman. And now we know we've already had Batman kind of, cross over into their universe as well. So I'm not sure where this one kind of, if it was just to have in there or if there's going to be something later on down the road that where this is going to come back up. Because obviously Medusa kind of owes her, even though Diana's not one to kind of collect chits. So let me know down in the comments, what did you think of it? What do you think of Medusa and how they portray the Gorgons in this kind of more contemporary telling? And what did you think of the issue altogether? So, and while you're doing that, you might as well go ahead and give the video a like, hit the subscribe button, and having the little bell notifications click so you get alerted when we are release all the newest comic book videos, as well as everything we're doing in the DCU. Guys, we've got a wrapping up the KO event. We've probably got another 4 or 5 that we've got to do on that. And then everything's still going on in the Absolute. So we got a lot more content still coming your way. So subscribe, have your bell notification clicked, and then let us know what you'd like to see us do next. And that is going to wrap it for me on this episode of You, Me, and DC. Until next time, guys, I'll see you then.